young, intelligent, Ghanaian, African guy converted this into a stainless charcoal. This is stainless. I'm wearing white for the first time. Can you see the blood? No. This charcoal is stainless. The man himself. I really want to know your story. That you are the biggest charcoal producer in Ghana.
Possibly in West Africa and maybe the whole
entire
of Africa.
Africa.
Yeah, by capacity. So it all started when I was a law student, and then on the usual commute to class, I observed, I started on the Oxford Street. So you realize that on every junction on that street, there's somebody selling coconuts. And then eventually you realize that the whole of Accra, you have so many people selling coconuts too. Yeah. So it all began with a question. With these guys selling so much coconut, what did they actually do with the waste? And that's where the whole idea started coming up. And then eventually I realized that they were all dumping their waste by the beaches and making our beaches so dirty. I took a trip to the beach, saw what was happening there, and then I just told myself something has to be done. At the time I didn't even know what we could use the waste for, but along the line I realized I got so much interested in this coconut stuff. I even lost interest in reading law to concentrate on this. And I think in the final year I had to use the fees to actually start this.
Hold on. Use your final year school fees to start this business. Instead of becoming a lawyer.
You know, the whole idea began when one day we went to buy kenke. We saw the kenke seller was using the coconut husk in her fire instead of firewood. And that was when it really hit me like, wow, so instead of firewood, she's using this coconut, which is basically free everywhere. And these guys are dumping it by the beaches. Okay, so since firewood is the raw material for charcoal, can we also use the same coconut the woman is using to make charcoal? I actually didn't know anything about charcoal. I joined these guys that make charcoal in the north just to see how they do it. Came back to Accra. I set up a small process in my house to see how I could convert these coconuts to charcoal.
So where are you getting the coconut husk?
So I just spoke to a few coconut sellers. Eventually, actually didn't even know where to dump it. So I was even a savior to them. Wow. These guys would push their coconut waste from wherever and just come dump it in my house.
In your house?
Yes.
So your house was full of...
I had a mountain of coconut in my house. A real mountain, actually.
Bro, this story is inspiring. You know what? Let's somewhere. Let's continue. There is something that I'm not understanding.
Yeah.
You said you started with what?
A tin tomato can.
A tin tomato can.
Yeah. A tomato can, I should say.
You were putting the coconut inside?
Yeah, so I was experimenting how to burn charcoal. So the process basically is burning something devoid of oxygen. If you allow too much oxygen in, it burns to ash. So you control the oxygen flow and then you get charcoal. So I had this little tomato can, which was big enough, and then we put some pieces of coconut in there. We lit them up, poured sand to cover and prevent oxygen from going in.
Wow.
It turned out very well, but we had very little charcoal. So the next day I moved to a bucket. So the actual bucket we were using in the house, we made some holes in there, and then we were able to get some more coconut, which was still also very good, but also very little.
Yeah.
So eventually we moved from the bucket to a drum, a barrel. And in the space of a week, we had moved from just a tomato can to like 10 barrels.
And what were you doing all this?
All of this in my house.
In your house?
Yes.
You know, I just want to know, how many people started this business with you, or you started it all alone?
First was myself alone. I got in one more person and then got in some more people. Gradually we are about 12 people here. But then we have so many people on the street collecting coconuts for us.
Do you believe that Africa is the future?
We already are. And Africa definitely, the world can't progress without Africa.